Lawn grass is
So she typed on the screen, thirstiest crop ever for those people listening.
the most irrigated crop in the United States.
Yeah, we need to stop saying that. By the way, grad students and scientists, colleagues of mine or peers of mine who like to quote the Molesi paper and say, oh, turf grass is the most irrigated crop in the United States. In fact, let me pull it up. She's pulling this, and a lot of grad students and scientists, in fact, I may be guilty of this as well in some of my papers, quote this paper, and they say, well, turf grass is the largest irrigated crop in the United States. I'm going to give an argument why we need to stop doing that. This is from Christina Molesi, and the title of this is Mapping and Modeling the Biogeochemical Cycling of Turf Grasses in the United States. Then the conclusions of the study, it says, the analysis indicates that turf grasses, occupying 1.9% of the surface of the continental United States, would be the single largest irrigated crop in the country. So you can read that and go, she's right. And probably that's what she did. You just go to the conclusions and read that without critically thinking your way through the article, and you're going to go, well, turf grass is the largest irrigated crop in the United States. But if you're like me and you're neurodiverse or you really care about the truth, you're going to actually go in here and read this. And you read down through here and the materials and methods, which is the most important part of this paper, by the way. And I'm not knocking the quality of the paper. I'm just saying we need to stop citing it and saying turf grass is the most irrigated crop. It may be, but it's not evident in this paper, and here's why. In the materials and methods on page 429, it says the following. Many residential lawns are managed by homeowners who pay little attention to the amount of resources invested for lawn maintenance and often receive excess water and fertilizer. No citation for that, but I'm not inclined to argue with it right now. On the other hand, there are also some areas cultivated with turf grasses that are not adequately watered and fertilized, spending part of the growing season in a dormant stage. In this study, the simulation of the impact of different turf grass management practices on the continental carbon and water budget was based on the simplifying assumption that under a given scenario, the entire turf surface is managed homogeneously, such as irrigated with the same criteria, fertilized with the same amount of nitrogen, and mowed at the same height, whether it would be part of a residential lawn or a golf course. Although this assumption largely simplifies reality, it allows developing a first estimate of the potential national impacts of turf grasses on ecosystem functioning by asking how would the continental carbon and water budgets be affected if all the surface currently under turf was to be managed like a well-maintained lawn. So what they're saying is, we just assumed all the turf in the United States was irrigated like a well-maintained lawn. I don't know what the percentage is in Kentucky, but it's got to be less than 5% of the lawns in Kentucky are actually irrigated. It may be 1%. I don't know. But this paper is simply saying, yeah, turf grass is the largest irrigated crop. Yes, if you assume every square foot of turf grass in the United States is irrigated like a well-maintained lawn, which it's not. I would venture to say it's got to be less than half in the United States. It's probably less than 10% in the United States. That is irrigated, not only irrigated, but irrigated like a well-maintained lawn. So you can't say turf grass is the largest single irrigated crop in the United States without a huge asterisk by saying, well, that's assuming that all turf grass is well irrigated like a lawn, like a well-irrigated lawn.